It's a big day and a big expense for any family.
I'm here to pick up my new car, Grand Highlander. I'm super excited. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
But Jerry Chen tells us this purchase was supposed to happen months from now. The threat of tariffs, though, sped it up.
Thank you.
I shouldn't have to worry about, oh man, the car might go up, or a new phone might cost more, a computer might cost more, just because of, politics. All right, you want to sit inside?
If Trump's full tariffs were to go through in May, both on fully assembled cars and auto parts from outside the U.S., it's estimated they'd add $2,500 to $20,000 on the price of a new car. Even Jerry's new Toyota, assembled here in the U.S., includes many parts from Canada. Its transmission is from Japan, and anything foreign gets taxed. And so buyers are acting now, buying before tariffs get priced in. Dealer Bob Page has seen a 20% bump in sales.
We've had a pretty good rush, and I'm hearing it throughout the nation, for added car purchases. Moving people that are thinking of doing the next 2 or 3 months, they're trying to do it now.
But once dealers move through their inventory, that feast in sales may turn to famine. One estimate projects 700,000 fewer vehicle sales in the U.S. this year, if all tariffs proceed.
What will that do to our business then? So it's hard to say.
Down the road at Page's Honda dealership, top salesman Sean Fathi has rarely been busier.
So as of mid-March, when the tariffs were announced, mid-March we had a huge uptick in new car sales and a lot of buyers.
But he too worries a tide of higher prices are approaching.
It's annoying. I just don't know what's going on, to tell you the truth. I mean, I voted for Trump, but I don't know what's going on. Why should people pay more just because of tariffs? Just because somebody wants to put a tariff on a vehicle, it's not fair.
Canadian auto workers would likely say the same thing, because factories in Ontario assembled the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V. So these top-selling models are being targeted by Trump's tariffs. Maybe that's the point. After all, they're made by Japanese automakers. One might think that the hope of the White House is to make American car makers, the big three, stronger. Do these tariffs do that?
Look, initially, they don't, because they expose them to more cost, higher costs for the cars they produce abroad. And the American car makers have been one of the biggest winners from the free trade agreement that the US has had with Mexico and Canada, because they've been able to produce cheaper cars in those countries and sell them with competitive prices in the US.
Felipe Munoz knows the numbers. He works for Jado Dynamics, which collects data on car sales and trends in the sector. He argues American car makers may be the worst hit by tariffs. I'm here in Detroit. The GM building is in behind me. The tariffs are in place. What does it mean for the big three American automakers?
I mean, the goal of these tariffs, of course, is to bring back the production of cars in the US. But in the meantime, while this happens, because it takes time, there are a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty around it. And of course, many of these car makers are depending on imports, even the American ones.
When it comes to foreign brands, this auto park is one of Motor City's biggest. Hyundai, Kia, Subaru, Genesis, and Mitsubishi. We met up with George Glassman, who owns and runs the group. We're not even 100 days into this administration. If I go back to Inauguration Day, did you imagine this?
Of course not. I don't think anyone could have necessarily imagined the scope of what is currently taking place. And having said that, I'm still optimistic that there's going to be negotiations that go on.
What do you think the perception is of the average American in this area? Is it that if the tariffs do push more work into the United States, then they're a good thing?
Well, again, I don't think anybody can take issue with the idea, the goal of having more plants in the United States producing more vehicles. But this is not something that we're going to see in any short-term period of time, because you cannot simply snap your fingers and have a plant open up tomorrow. So we're talking about 2, 3, 5 years from now, these new plants, if they're even built here in the States, before they're operational.
But even if more manufacturing shifts into the U.S., the U.S. Federal Reserve warns the short-term cost will almost certainly be higher inflation. With risks of long-term damage too, Americans may still be making big purchases now, things like cars, but tariffs could change that. In some ways, they already have.